Spring in South Jersey. The temperatures are getting warmer, the trees are blooming, but for many here in the area, that also means carrying a pack of tissues and your favorite allergy medications. I'm here at Batsto State Forest with Professor Kathy Sedia at Stockton University to talk about the allergy season here in South Jersey.
For allergy sufferers, it's probably going to be pretty miserable. All the trees that we see around us, they produce pollen that is dispersed by wind. And wind-pollinated plants, this is what usually gives people allergies. So we have peach pine, we have oak, we have Atlantic white cedar, we have some birches, we have some aspens, and all of those things produce wind-dispersed pollen. Other parts of South Jersey, like in the grasslands, you have grasses, which are also wind-pollinated, so that's another allergy city. And but basically, all the trees pretty much are going to give you allergies. Some produce extremely allergenic pollen, not necessarily in our region, but things like junipers, for example, are very highly allergenic for a lot of people. In addition to pollen, we of course have mold, and because the humidity has been so high, it of course promotes the growth of fungi, which molds are, and we probably will see quite a bit of increase in people who are allergic in molds, fungi, fungal spores, and so forth. So I basically expect to see an increase in those allergies as well. I would say in the past few years we've seen increases in pollen just because of the warmer temperatures and oftentimes longer summers and more humidity. And I would probably say that allergy season last year was maybe around the average for the past few years, but I think people may have felt it a little bit more because I think a lot of people ended up outdoors in, what was it, about April and May when state parks reopened again. So I think quite a few people got exposure to allergens.
What kind of weather brings the most pollen, and what kind of weather throughout April, May, and June brings the least amount of tree pollen?
Well, wind will tend to kind of disperse it quite a bit. Warmer weather basically means more pollen in general, and it's not kind of a day by day, but if we get a warm spring, you would usually get a lot of flowering, lots of pollen coming out. Also, I would say if it rains a lot, rain tends to kind of tamp the pollen down a little bit. So if you have allergies, rain may be a good thing for pollen allergy, but of course then it brings out the mold and the fungi. So that would be bad news for those who are allergic to mold.
For this upcoming spring, the Climate Prediction Center, which is a government agency, has said we are going to be above average for temperatures for April. And then as we go into May and June, not only above average, but on the wetter side. So what does that mean to you here as we go into the spring?
For allergy sufferers, it's probably going to be pretty miserable as well.